Hey folks, our OS Reviews. Today you're watching our video review of the wireless Bluetooth bracelet. This is a very basic smart accessory for smartphones and tablets, and it will actually vibrate once you have it connected to your phone and your phone rings, where you get a new incoming text. And you can also use the bracelet itself to reject or to take a call, which is pretty interesting. In addition, it has an anti-loss feature, so once your phone gets disconnected from the bracelet, that means you're out of the 10 feet or the 3-meter range, which offers Bluetooth 3.0 connectivity. Then the bracelet will also start vibrating and say, oh, you probably lost your phone or you left your phone somewhere and you should go back and get it. So it's kind of useful in that sense, but at the same time, it's no smart watch per se, just because it doesn't have nearly as much functionality. It doesn't have a display. It's very basic, but it's also semi-fashionable in that sense. It's also very inexpensive and can be found for under $20 online through Amazon. So very low cost and quite generic in terms of the design. We'll discuss some of the limitations and some of the strengths in this particular review. Taking out the packaging, it's one of the strengths. You can actually give it as a gift because it looks quite professional. It comes in this tin box where you can actually open it up and you see the watch inside with a very nice presentation. We're going to set the bracelet or the watch aside. There's also access to a charger. You plug it into the wall. There's also some LEDs that tell you when your charging has been completed. There's also a LED on the watch itself that we'll discuss later on. Finally, there is a proprietary charger that you need for the particular bracelet. As you can see, it's very, very small, so it's one of the worst, it's one of the weaker facets of this particular product. There's also, on the inside, access to a instruction manual printed in monochrome black and white. Another weaker aspect, because the instruction manual is written with a ton of grammatical errors, and it's kind of difficult to get through. You can see how there's a lot of image issues with the formatting, and there's a lot of grammar issues. It's a little bit difficult to comprehend, but the main gist of the product can be kind of played around with, and you'll get most of the features through. So not too difficult to actually start using, so fairly intuitive. Taking a look at the design of the actual bracelet next, as you can see, it's very, very simple looking. We just have a interesting button on here that's risen above the surface and fairly tactile. Long pressing on this turns the bracelet on. Pressing on it once more turns it off. And tapping on it without holding it down allows you to reject or to take a call. And pressing on it for a few seconds longer enters the pairing mode, and you'll see the LEDs start flashing red and green, and then you can start pairing it with a Bluetooth phone or a tablet. So pretty easy to use, and the smart part is actually curved as well, so the battery on the inside, I'm not sure how they did this, was probably also curved, which is kind of interesting. You notice on the right hand or on the left hand edge you have access to the proprietary charging port, and that's it. So a very simple design going on. Now this bracelet is not waterproof, so don't dump it into water or anything like that, otherwise it will get damaged and it will probably break. The other part of the bracelet is crafted out of silicone, which is relatively comfortable and easy to wear. However, one of the limitations of this design is that the silicone strap is massive. So if your wrist is a little bit small, then you have to kind of wear clothing over your wrist just for the bracelet to not fall off. I mean, the size of this thing is absolutely huge. Just kind of compare it to a watch I have here. You can see how the watch, this is the Misfit Shine, at the largest setting is kind of the same as this bracelet. But if you have it all the way in here, you can see how the watch band normally would be like this. This one is all the way like this. There are no adjustable settings. So especially for ladies and women out there, this is probably going to be a struggle just because the band is so large. It's not going to fit very comfortably. With that being said, the construction quality is pretty nice. This is stainless steel, and we simply kind of tuck this apart to open it up, and you'll be able to again use the bracelet itself and open it up to put it in, or in our case we can just like kind of slip it in just because the silicone has a bit of flexibility to it. So taking a look at the device's design, we see the LED, which is green, flash occasionally. It means that we're now connected and powered on. Battery life on the bracelet is one of the weaker facets. It only lasted us about 1.5 days before we had to recharge it on standby mode with some occasional usage. So that is not so good battery life, but again, this is a very small bracelet as well, so not too large of a battery is inside. With that being said, basically every time that you need to charge your phone, you also need to charge the bracelet, so you need to remember to take the charger, which is proprietary, with you when you're traveling. So taking a look at how the connection mode between Bluetooth actually works, you can see we're connected now to something that's called Bracelet. So very, very generic. And once you pair it once, it automatically starts pairing it again and again. We just took our phone over a few seconds ago, and you can see the connection has been already initiated, and the connection is fairly strong. So again, as long as you have 3 meters or 10 feet away from the phone, it's going to be connected. And once the phone is out of range, it will vibrate. Now it's time for a quick little test in terms of whether or not we can actually have the ability to have the All right, so a quick test now of how the bracelet will actually function once it's been connected and synced up, and we have an incoming call. So with a bit of luck, a call will come in very soon. And there you go. You can see a flashing indication between the blue and the green, and there's actually a notable kind of vibration on the actual bracelet. It's actually going to start moving around, and you'll see that it's starting to move by itself. So the vibration is actually pretty strong there, and it's definitely notable despite not having a built-in speaker, so there's not going to be an audible alarm. So it's definitely a feature you will notice if you have it on your wrist, so it definitely works. You can then tap on the center key there to answer a call, and then kind of double tap to reject a call, so those features do work relatively well. So if we power the device off, just pressing on that for a few seconds, we'll have the red light flash, and the red light's going to come on again just because we are currently charging the bracelet. So if we again kind of plug that in again, you can kind of see the red light come on, and when the red light has finished charging, it's going to turn to green. The entire charging process takes about 2.5 hours to complete, which is again about the same time it takes to fully charge an Android smartphone. So again, you're going to be charging it with your phone and also taking it out after your phone has been charged. In conclusion, I would say that the Bluetooth bracelet definitely works. It's a very basic kind of smart accessory. It's not going to allow you to actually answer your calls because it doesn't have a true microphone, but you can reject or kind of press to select on calls, and you can definitely be notified if you have a phone in your pocket or something, and you'll know when a call actually has been placed and it's coming in. So it definitely works as advertised. It's inexpensive, it's fairly stylish, but it definitely comes with its limitations, and also the fact that the wrist strap is a little bit large is of course a con. So I would recommend for you guys to try one of these out before you go out and purchase one if possible. Thanks for watching this video quick first look / review here at OS Reviews. This has been the wireless Bluetooth bracelet.